As you read, and people who knew me when I was here, I did a lot of work with Oxfam. And this thing about margins, I was actually at an Oxfam training. It was my junior year, and it was almost my turn to go up to speak. I was putting together my notes, and then something occurred to me. I tried to get a yellow one, but we couldn't, so I used one of these. I was using those legal pads, the ones, you know them, yellow, the red margin. And I was going through my notes and noticed that all of my notes have been meticulously written within the margins here. And if a thought occurred, something that was good to know, but that wasn't actually a core, Ajman, please. And I noticed that I had been writing all of my notes. Sorry. I had been writing all of my notes in the margins. And then I looked at my friends and other change leaders, and I noticed they were doing the same thing. And it dawned on me that within the constraints of the limitations of any illustration, these margins represented the way society is structured. See, there are three things that I noticed about margins, and I want to share them here today. That the first thing about margins is that margins are very distinct. Here, it's a red line indicating what is in the margin, what is out. When margins are initially done, it allows no room for nuance. It's clear, distinct, identifiable, recognizable. And we impose margins for reasons. If you're a student and you're taking notes, you want to be able to take notes so that you can remember the core material or so you can prepare to study. Well, by writing within the margins, when it's time to study, time is limited, so you can focus on what is important. What is in the margins is good to know. It's not necessary. That's one. The second thing about margins is that by nature and function, they're limiting. Look at the space of what is in the margin and what is outside the margin. Margins are designed so that this side is limited in all of the spaces here. If it is important, it will be written here. If it's not important, it can be scribbled within the margins. The third and final thing about margins is that margins, even though they appear permanent, they're malleable. Margins can be altered. Margins can be changed. Margins can be moved. I'm saying all that today to talk a little bit more about a community that has lived over 400 years within the margins. And a part of that has been allowed because good people have been silent. I think the time has come for us to begin to address this.